Do you have a hidden Roth IRA? Hi, this is financial planner Sean Mullaney. Let's discuss. So I've got some news for many Americans. You probably have a hidden Roth IRA. So how do we know that? Well, we have to run through some numbers to know that. And what I've done is I've done a little bit of an analysis on a somewhat typical retired couple, mid to late 60s. So I've got one is 67 years old, one is 66 years old, married filing joint, and they have a paid off house. They have some bonds and cash, generates $5,000 of taxable income. They've got some equities, generates $5,000 of qualified dividend income. But the big thing they're doing is they're taking traditional IRA withdrawals. They're saying, look, we want to live on about $7,000 a month, and we're going to keep things very simple. All we're going to do is we're just going to grab $7,000 a month, thereabouts, from our traditional IRA, fully taxable. We're going to live off that. You know, in theory, this couple could say, hey, we're going to be a little tax efficient. We're going to sell some of those equities, have smaller capital gains instead of taking from the traditional IRA, or we're going to draw down some of that cash instead of taking from the traditional IRA. They're not up for tax planning, right? They're just, you know, it's easy to go to the traditional IRA. They understand they pay tax, but they're not too worried about it. Well, you see what their federal taxable income is going to be after a very substantial standard deduction. They get, in the 2023 numbers, they get $27,700 as a standard deduction. They're going to get $3,000 more because they're both 65 or older. So their federal taxable income is $63,300. And the next thing we have to do is we have to say, well, okay, they have $63,300 of federal taxable income. How the heck is that taxed? Let's look at that, because to my mind, this is very revealing. So recall that there's stacking of income, right? Qualified dividend income and long-term capital gains, they don't have any, but those go on top. What goes on bottom is ordinary income, which is interest and traditional IRA withdrawals as applied to this particular situation. So let's just put the interest first. It's ordinary income. It's $5,000. It's taxed at a 0% rate because it's taxed against that standard deduction. So that's good. We like that, right? Standard deduction, might as well use it. All right, we'll use some of it on interest. All right, but now we have to get into the $84,000 distribution from the traditional IRA. And we have to think about, well, how the heck is that taxed? Well, look what happens to the first $25,700 of distributions from the traditional IRA. That is taxed at a 0% federal income tax rate. It is federal income tax free. So you're telling me we had a distribution from a retirement account and we paid no federal income tax. I know what that is. That's a Roth IRA. And you're right, it's a hidden Roth IRA, right? You took a distribution from a retirement account. It was entirely tax-free from a federal perspective. That's a hidden Roth IRA. And where does the hidden Roth IRA live? For most people who are working, it lives inside their traditional 401k. For those who are retired, maybe they've transferred that 401k to an IRA. Either way, right? The hidden Roth IRA for many Americans lives inside those traditional retirement accounts. We took out over $25,000 this year, and we paid no federal income tax on that. That's fantastic. And oh, by the way, this isn't the only year we can do that, right? There are going to be other years in our retirement, maybe several other years in our retirement where we can do that as well. So that hidden Roth IRA, we get that in multiple years. That is absolutely fantastic. One small drawback. You know, states have, income tax. They tend to have lower standard deductions. So maybe there'd be a little bit of state tax on that. It's probably going to be a small amount. And oh, by the way, a lot of Americans now live in tax-free states. And think about the tax-free states, some like Tennessee, Texas, Florida. They seem to be growing compared to the rest of the nation. So more and more Americans are going to have a fully tax-free hidden Roth IRA lurking in those traditional retirement accounts. Now let's go back through the rest of the traditional IRA distribution. We've got $22,000 that's then taxed at the 10% bracket, not so bad. And then $36,000 and change is going to be taxed against the 12% bracket. That too, not so bad. And this couple is doing so well. Not only do they have a hidden Roth IRA, they also get that qualified dividend income of $5,000. They get that tax at 0% too. So think about this. This couple, $7,000 a month in living expenses. They get to have over, by my calculation, over $35,000 of tax-free income every year. They're doing pretty well, right? Retirees tend to be lightly taxed. That's pretty nice to have over $35,000 of tax-free income. All right, now let's look at how they did in terms of their taxes, right? So by my math, they're paying a little over $6,500 in federal income tax. Got to remember, their gross income was $94,000. That means their effective tax rate's a little under 7%. Let's just call it 7%, right? Why quibble? So, they're doing really well. Let's think about this couple. When they were working, they were probably contributing to a 401k, maybe a 403b, and they're deducting at a 12% rate, a 22%, 24% rate, maybe even 32%. And then they have to take it back in, and they're paying a 7% effective rate. They got the better of that deal, not Uncle Sam. So traditional retirement accounts worked out really well for them. Their highest marginal rate's only 12%. So they're really cooking with gas, and they didn't even do that much tax planning. And they get this hidden Roth IRA. And there's no IRMA here, right? So their effective rate, when we consider zero IRMA, and the federal rate is a little under 7%. Fantastic. Now let's think about some of the implications here, right? So for those accumulators, those of you who are still working, boy, I could contribute to a traditional 401k at work next week, next month, next year, and I could be setting up a hidden Roth IRA. That's fantastic, right? So I think sometimes you see these commentators, oh no, everything's got to be contributed to Roth 401ks from now on. Well, wait a minute. Did you know I'm setting up a hidden Roth IRA by deferring into a traditional 401k? So look, you have to do your own analysis, but sort of a heightened fear of traditional 401k contributions, that makes very little sense to me. We saw that their effective rate, even at 84,000 withdrawals, 94,000 of taxable income, was only 7%. So no reason to fear those. One of the reasons they get a very nice hidden Roth IRA is because of delaying Social Security, right? They could have been taking Social Security, and Social Security would have started filling up that standard deduction. Essentially, Social Security could have been their hidden Roth IRA. That's not the worst outcome either, but boy, isn't it nice to let Social Security keep growing and growing and growing and get the hidden Roth IRA on our traditional IRA, traditional 401k in our 60s. I think that's pretty good planning. Look, there are many factors that go into our Social Security claiming decision in terms of what age we claim at, but this would be a factor that says, if you get delayed to age 70, you might want to do that so you get more hidden Roth IRA at your traditional IRA. And then lastly, I want to think about, how long does the hidden Roth IRA last? For many Americans, it can start as early as age 59 and a half. Now, in theory, you could even start it earlier with a 72T plan. That's going to be a little easier said than done, but it's at least a theoretical possibility. I will say, while we're on ACA medical insurance, so that lasts to 65 for many Americans, it's going to diminish the hidden Roth IRA up until 65 because of the premium tax credit. So there are going to be some folks who, maybe you don't want to take advantage of the hidden Roth IRA, or it's at least somewhat diminished because of reductions to the premium tax credit. The premium tax credit rules, I think, are going to be changing over time, so stay tuned on that. Who knows, right? Maybe they'll stay the same from where they are in the year 2023. Where the hidden Roth IRA really cooks with gas is ages 65 to 70, because there you don't have premium tax credit to manage for, and you can delay Social Security to 70, so that could be 5 years of hidden Roth IRA distributions. You're getting, this couple was getting $25,000 plus. Think about increasing standard deductions in the future. We could be looking at over $100,000 in a hidden Roth IRA. We took money from a retirement account. We paid no federal income tax. That's a Roth IRA. It just lurks inside your 401k. How cool is that? Now, there is a possibility of a little bit of a hidden Roth IRA in our 70s, but Social Security is probably going to dampen that largely. But the hidden Roth IRA, it's something to be thinking about. It's another reason to defer into traditional retirement accounts at work while we're working. Let me know what you think about the hidden Roth IRA in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please mash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.